sumo wrestlers from the world famous Lincoln High School, from the world famous Southeast San Diego, have the opportunity to represent the U.S. at the 2024 Sumo World Championship in Poland this September. Maximum Effort Foundation, or MEF, is a local organization committed to making martial arts accessible to every athlete, no matter what. Help MBF hit our goal of raising $10,000 to help these athletes and their coaches make it to Poland. You can show up for these Hornet sumo wrestlers in the following ways. 1, please give what you have capacity to give, because we don't want to break the bank, via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal to the account Black Women Deserve SD. Women is spelled with an X. Or by sharing this post. 100% of your contributions will go towards this effort. And JJ's like a few hundred yards away, because like I have my laundry room office, like Peggy Hill in King of the Hill, and JJ's in the living room.
Oh my goodness.
Christina, you said 100 yards away. I don't think you understand what a yard is.
No, I don't.
It's not that big. We have the smallest house in America.
But you have to understand my very African American measurements is around the corner, up the street. I'll be there in a little bit. Okay. These can mean anything.
Yeah, I mean, they literally mean anything.
Because up the street could be a few miles.
Yeah.
I'm right around the corner. So you're still at home. You ain't even got no pants on. Why are you lying?
Literally. Why are you lying?
All right, DJ, you gonna do your thing? You gonna say
No, we're just chatting. Yeah. Don't worry. Justin Kidser will be here. He is running Black People Time, which means he will be here in a while.
Yeah.
Well, when he gets here. Yes. Now we're middle-aged grandma or middle-aged mom. I'll be there when I'm there.
Right.
All right, let us. Where is that? Let us start the show. Oh no, I don't know where it's at anymore.
Okay. JJ's gonna do the intro. Tell him no. Tell him no.
You've been trying to cater to all their needs. You've been feeling guilty for so long. Maybe they're not friends, they are enemies. Don't you tell them yes, tell them get lost. Cause every time you go and ask for help, they say sorry but I'm busy. So you end up doing it yourself. Ooh, hold up baby, don't take it. It ain't friendship if they just make it. You don't need to put up with their bullshit. Tell them no. Hold up, baby, don't stress it. It ain't worth it, you won't miss it. You don't need to put up with their bullshit. Tell them no.
That was fun.
I had to mix that up just a little bit. Apparently, I kept having Justin in bad positions. Hey, speaking of which, welcome, Justin. Perfect timing.
Oh my God.
I'm just going to go ahead and remove him again.
Oh no.
This is let's see, let's try it again. Can you hear us, Justin? No? Still can't hear us. All right. So while he's trying to figure out his entire life, let's go ahead and get this party started. Welcome to Black in Sumo. I am the host with a little bit of the most, JJ Jones. We're here with Christina Griffin-Jones, and Justin Kidser is somewhere in the vortex of somewhere.
He's in the periphery.
Yes. Temple, can you go ahead and introduce yourself to the peoples?
My name is Temple Cantrell. They, them, it's pronouns. 28 years old, and I do sumo in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, Savannah, Georgia. Nice. It's hot out there. It's hot out there.
Yes, I'm actually in San Francisco for about a week right now, and the cool weather is like really, really doing it for me.
Yes. My first time I went to San Francisco, I was like, man, it's colder here than San Diego, because there's so much like wind involved there. Everywhere you go, it's a little windy, which I didn't know. I also went in the fall, which fall in San Diego is spring everywhere else. Winter is maybe spring everywhere else. Summer for 1 week, 1 or 2 weeks is kind of like a summer. Outside of that, it's spring still. So what are you doing in San Francisco?
I'm getting top surgery tomorrow.
Awesome, yes.
Bright and early tomorrow at 7 a.m.
Heck
Temple Congress. I know that's right.
Yeah, very exciting.
You got a care team and all that to.
Yeah, my friend is here. Yeah, I got a friend here to watch over me, take care of me. So
I know that's right. Good.
Wow,
I remember.
That's awesome.
That's so awesome.
I miss a little bit of that. Wait, hello. Something. Like top surgery. Who's
yeah. I'm in San Francisco right now for a top surgery appointment that I have tomorrow morning. So
that's so amazing. I know that's right. I hope your friend is a better support person than I am. So JJ, he got a less celebratory surgery. He got his knee worked on, and I just would always accidentally touch the knee. And I was
roll it. Let me hop in the bed and put my booty on it.
Oh, no.
And it was they did a lot in that knee. They built it, made it stronger, and she kept breaking it back down. It was great. It's great. Love you.
It was also Temple. JJ was so loopy. He said that he did not tell the nurse this. I believe it because she might have been a little racist, but she was she came into the waiting room. She said, "I'm looking for Christina. I think that's you because JJ told me I was looking for an afro-yo. Is that you, honey? That's you."
What?
Because JJ was coming out the.
Oh, he was on a good drug.
Good for real. Oh my god, it's so funny.
I had problems as I was going out because they started playing Miley Cyrus. He came in like a wrecking ball, and I'm like, "What is happening?" The doctor showed up, and he's like, "It's time to wreck ship." I was like, "What?" And out. That's the last thing I remember.
Oh my god.
Just let your friend, so I have faith that your friend will be better at support than I was. Wasn't my best moment. But if you ever need something to make your healing a little more difficult, holla at your girl.
And while you're recovering, if you want to watch some sumo, there is a local club.
Oh, oops.
Well,
sorry. I thought the boss show was about to start, but I'm sorry.
I know. We all know the boss show, but I don't know if you know Temple, but there is a club in the San Francisco area. I'm not sure exactly where because I just know it's in the Bay Area. They're called Black Cat Sumo Club.
Oh yes, yeah. I was looking into them, but we don't have a car, so they're a little far away from where we happen to be.
Okay.
Because I was thinking about that before I came, I was like, "Oh, Black Cat." They say they're in the San Fran area, but they're just a little far from where I happen to be, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah. And public transit after surgery ain't about it. Nah. Chill, relax, have a pint of ice cream, and then a pint after that.
Funny fact, JJ's post-surgery ice cream is the, what is it? The dulce de leche. The Haagen-Dazs.
Haagen-Dazs Dulce de Leche. Good fat content.
I don't like ice cream. Call me weird. I don't. Oh, no,
you're just a good. That you're not weird. It's fine. Everybody's different. You're different.
I like cookies. I'll eat a cookie. I love cookies, and there's that. But like ice cream, I'm like, pass. Like I just never was.
What about sorbet?
Nope. All those frozen things. I'm like, this feels like effort.
You got too many cavities, don't you? You got cavities in your teeth.
Oh, it just
the second they touch your teeth, it hurts, huh? It's okay. It's all right. You got little chiclets on there. It's all right.
No.
That's how my teeth are.
I just can't.
Me too, Temple. I got Skittle teeth. They can't get too hot or too cold. These babies are gone.
You got Skittle teeth. Sensodyne.
Yeah. Temple, they took one of. I got good insurance, and then I started getting my teeth worked on. They had one. They took like one right here, so when you smile, it's missing.
No,
so I'm in pictures like this, like.
Oh my god!
That's only because Christina was trying to bite off my style. That's when you know somebody's crazy, when they're missing that tooth in the side, not in the front. Front that tells you what's up. It's that side one trying to hold back the crazy, but it's there.
So what's going on there?
Well, I have a question for you. What got you into sumo? I don't know anything about you. Like, so I have seen a picture, and I usually
Justin,
what?
Did you do your homework?
I'm a little bit, but I'd rather him.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
I am trying to.
It was just for me. That was just for me. I just wanted to know if you did your homework. That's it. That's it.
So
you like Shogiku. I know that.
Me and Justin are. JJ is our teacher. When we're left alone, chaos ensues, and if it wasn't for JJ, this would just be a wild podcast about anything.
About anything.
Justin, go back to your question. It's a good question.
I was asking a nice, legit question. I'm trying to be a professional, okay? So what got you into sumo? I guess both like watching professional and then doing sumo.
Mm-hmm. So what introduced me to sumo was I was just like scrolling Instagram, and somebody I follow, so this would have been like years ago, because somebody I follow posted like a rest in peace post about Chiyono Fuji.
Okay.
And that was like the first time that I even like knew that sumo was a thing that still happened. Because I feel like in a lot of media that we're exposed to, it just is sort of portrayed as like this ancient thing that nobody does anymore. And I saw that and I was like, wait, people still do sumo wrestling? And I sort of just like, I started looking into it, and just, I'm very susceptible
to the rabbit hole.
To a Wikipedia rabbit hole, yes. I'm very susceptible to a Wikipedia rabbit hole, and I just got sucked right in. And as far as like participating in it, I mean, it was sort of something that, it was almost like always a crazy fantasy in the back of my mind while watching sumo, like, oh, this would be so cool to do. But then I found out like there were actually amateur sumo clubs in America. I was like, oh my god, I could actually do it. This isn't a crazy fantasy anymore.
What was the first amateur club or person that you found online? Where you were like, oh snap!
I think it was probably like a highlight video of like the US Sumo Open.
Okay.
Like that's probably like how I got exposed to like the existence of American amateur sumo.
Fair. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Justin is trying to be messy.
Justin was banking on you saying Consulate's Cup.
Listen, no, I just, I was opening to just see what the internet's like. What happens when someone goes down a rabbit hole. What do they see down the rabbit hole?
Do they go into a dark circle?
They go. Hey, well done.
Yes, it's great.
Well, I mean, to be honest, even back in 2016, all these things that you're finding on Instagram and all that stuff, there was really none of it. There was zero of it. You really had to, and I was lucky, and I found the U.S. Sumo Open, and I found the club before I knew about the U.S. Sumo Open, and because I was in Los Angeles with them, and I don't know how it came up in a Google search, and I was like, oh snap, that's in North Hollywood, and so that's how I found that. But I didn't know about the U.S. Open because it wasn't really publicized on the internet as much. Until Andrew said, "Hey, you should do this tournament," and I was just like, "Okay." But yeah, a lot. Man, I'm just so happy that people are so blessed nowadays to if as soon as you get a curiosity of it, you've got just a sea of clubs to work with, and so that's awesome. Sorry, that was my little.
So you're saying that you thought it was ancient and that it wasn't happening anymore, basically, kind of.
Wow.
I thought about it, right? Sumo itself. I thought about it, and if you look at the Basho that's happening this weekend, and we just see clips from it, there's no way you would know that that's happening this year. Outside, if you don't know sumo, you're going to watch it, and everything looks so traditional. They go out there. There's nothing, it looks like it could have happened back in the 90s. Even the way that the lighting and everything looks, it feels very 90s television, cleaned up, definitely 4K version, especially if it's not those sumo.
Yeah.
Not those sumo. Hey, if you ever watch, holler at me when you talk. But yeah, it's man, it definitely feels like you literally are hopping back in time. That's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. Sorry, that was my realization that made me spiral into a dark circle.
And Temple, from you attending from you seeing that it was still happening online to starting your own club, can you talk about that amazing journey? Because I know I was lucky enough to be a part of it's a trio of us for Onu Sumo, right? It's me, JJ, and Minkin, and keep it G real. I was very nervous about I was like, JJ, is this cultural appropriation? I said, no.
Yeah.
I said, should I be Japanese? I was like, JJ, I said, I don't want to get drugged by the Japanese homies.
You just have to show one picture of Tokunoshin, and you're like, hey, he's not.
Right.
Yeah, wanted to kind of ask you a little bit about that journey of, and what was it like going from seeing it to leading the class?
Well, it was a long journey of waiting, and a lot of the journey was a lot of waiting and putting it off, because I looked around for clubs nearby, because I live in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Club,
I was going to say Georgia, Atlanta, or north of Atlanta. There's one of the oldest clubs, and I think Packy used to run that. But now he's not.
I think he still does. Does he?
He kind of, I guess he coordinates, but he's down. He lives in. I think he lives in Florida.
Oh.
I might be wrong. Sorry, but I don't know how big Georgia is. Go ahead.
Yeah, but Atlanta is about 4 hours away from Savannah.
Oh, so, damn! Okay, never mind.
And I don't drive anyway. But even if I did, that would be a very long commute to make even even once a month, let alone 4 times a month. So
that part.
That's like
Yeah,
me
the
going up
closest
to
club to
Dallas.
me was,
No, I was saying that's us Austinites going up to Dallas. It's about 3.5, 4 hours. Damn.
Yeah. So it wasn't feasible for me to like join an already existing club, and I just like I don't have any like martial arts experience. I wrestled for 1 year in high school, which is 10 years ago now. So I sort of like
It gives you.
I felt very ill-equipped.
It gives your body
wrestling.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
As long as it wasn't like, oh, I tried it one time and I left. Like you said, I wrestled for a year. That's in you. That's in you.
Yeah, it's not totally gone, but I just felt like I was a little ill-equipped to start my own club. But like, I just started getting antsy. I was like, I want to, and also I knew I was going to be moving to Chicago by the end of this year. And I was like, oh, well, I'm going to be able to join that club when I get there. So maybe I'll just like wait, which I could have done, but I just, at a certain point, it felt like I couldn't. I was like, I want to do it now.
You couldn't. Yeah, you couldn't.
And I feel like it's going pretty well, like all things considered, like the fact that I don't really have any experience in like really much else. I'm certainly not experienced in like teaching. According to the rest of the team, apparently I'm doing a pretty okay job.
Hell yeah. I thought you were about to say. Go ahead.
How did you figure out your framework for teaching? If you, since you didn't have any sumo experience and then you leaped in,
right?
What was your example? Yeah.
I mean, I just consumed a lot of videos of different keikos, different like professional and amateur. I'm very much like I love to like do as much research as possible before I even touch something. So I was like, I'm gonna watch as much content and read as much content as I can about like doing sumo training, and then like specifically right before our very first club meeting, Matt Shields from the Chicago club like did a video chat with me to like kind of give me like some pointers on how to run my first meeting, which was very sweet, very kind of him.
That man's
and then I've just kind of been like continuing to like watch more stuff and read more stuff to like develop our framework from there. But yeah, just like I mean, from a bunch of different places, a lot from like clubs that tend to upload their entire meetings, like Dallas.
Yeah,
I've gotten a lot of that. And of course Dark Circle.
You did good, Temple. You did good.
Yes.
But yeah, just like every club whose online presence I can get a hold of, I've been watching their like examples of how they do practice and just kind of picking and choosing what I want out of them.
Heck yeah. I appreciate what you lifted up about like, that kind of imposter syndrome a little bit, about being like, yo, can I teach it? And I'm glad that your club is like affirming you and letting you know that you're doing an amazing job. A huge thing, about sumo is that if your heart is in it and you mean all love and respect to the sport and the culture that it's from, like you're gonna be great. And I know your students are strong in that too. So kudos. I'm so happy you're doing your thing.
Thank you.
And so with your so when you told folks in your life that you were doing sumo, especially other Black folks, like how did they respond? Was it like what, or was it like? Because a lot of us on the call, our folks was like, "Oh yeah, you wild. Of course you're gonna do sumo now. Of course. You got your little anime. You got your little Gundam toys. Got your little Japanese friends. Of course. You like, Mom, they're Vietnamese. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? They're Filipino, Mom.
Oh my God. That's so good. Oh my goodness.
What were people's response?
Most people were like just very excited and interested. Like I didn't have a whole lot of surprisingly I didn't have a whole lot of people like that thought it was like weird. They were like confused, but not in like a negative way. It was more just like, what you're it was like, what you're doing sumo, but it was more of like a, what you're doing sumo, tell me more. And
Good.
like, yeah, my friend Troy, who is Black, is like one of the like people who's been like the most gung-ho about doing sumo with me. And so like being in community with them in sumo as like, a fellow Black person has been very like, it's been nice to say the least. And like really most of the people in the club, like I think I mentioned it in the questionnaire, but I'm pretty sure like only one person who comes to the club regularly is white. Everybody else is like a person of color. Yeah. So it's been nice. Yeah. To have that like that secondary level of community on top of the sumo community.
Yeah, me and JJ, when we first got into sumo, it was like we went to the first sumo class, and you know how it is as a Black person, where you're like, am I the only one?
You start looking around like.
We were like, and we like we didn't have to look too far. We saw Justin, and we saw this other cat named Monster. Oh my god!
Oh yeah, Monster.
His name is
Monster. Yeah.
Well, I don't know him, but like he was one of the people in the like US Sumo Open.
Yeah.
So I was like, his name's just Monster. That's awesome. Like,
what? And Justin, I looked at Justin and I knew he was he's a little weird. Like I like the kind of weird that I can mesh with because he had a mohawk. Not many Black people in that time.
I was weird. Mm-hmm. I was weird, but Monster wasn't.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Monster.
Don't put words in my mouth. I was just pointing out that you're
Monster
weird.
had a mullet, right? He had like the little like low cut.
No, that's new.
No, that's new. Yeah.
But Monster, the way he.
Oh, go ahead.
The way that he like carried himself, it was like a
anime character.
Yeah, like dubbed, like dubbed anime. Like he would talk, but you would expect him like to be speaking Japanese, and he'd be like, "Welcome to sumo class, peasant. Let's fight." I am very happy. I'm very happy that you are here. I will defeat you.
But this is
your children.
One day he came in and he was just doing headbutts to a mat. I was like, what is happening here?
Remember, it used to be like, because he was like, oh, what did he say? Something about, well, okay, before you guys came, his first day that he came to the club, back when the club was in North Hollywood, I shit you not, they said, oh, what do you know? What do you know about sumo or whatever? I think Andrew asked him or something. And then like, he said something like, I've been doing sumo for several years. And I was like, oh, wait, where have you been training? He's like, I've been training myself in his backyard or some shit or something. I don't know.
Yes.
He was reading some books. And I was just like, wait, what? And yeah, so I guess and he something about ninjutsu or something. And yep.
But also Temple, Justin is so mean and funny, but he's like that cousin that like is like cool with you, but like always remind you of where you came from. So Monster was trying to be this mysterious, like kind of mysterious cat, and then so we was talking about him, and he said, "Monster," he said, "That nigga's name is Philip." And I was like, but I don't know why he said it. And I was like, dang, Justin,
I used to be so frustrated, like, because when I was like, he was like, my name's Monster. And I like looked at him like this. It was just like, well, what's your real name? And he's like, well, I go by Monster, but my name is Philip. And I was like, oh.
Like not on no dead name shit. But also like
literally,
but also
but Monster. Come on.
Yeah. Nah. Justin was like, okay, not on no dead name shit. But what's your other name?
No, that's so funny. Oh my god.
But when you meet
I got love for
Monster,
Monster.
like,
Shout out to you there.
Yeah. We love Monster.
And I haven't seen Monster forever.
For real.
Since
He hits me up every now and then.
the SoCal Open, the first one.
The first
SoCal
one.
Open.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last time I saw Monster.
He disappeared for a little bit. He popped back up during COVID to do something. I remember
Justin, that burp was so loud. He tried to do it.
Brother.
Sorry.
You. I said
that's when you know you're over 40. Just when you're just like in the middle of a sentence.
We got Temple on here. We trying to impress them. You embarrass us like this.
Oh my goodness.
I saw you. That's that nigga shit. Okay, that's that nigga shit.
100%.
But so also Temple, you talked about being able to do be able to do sumo with another Black person, your friend Troy. Can you talk a little bit about what has it meant, for you, like as a Black person and participating in this sport where, it isn't really, there's not people's default, because people's default is often inherently white supremacist, that people's default isn't like, Black folks in it. How is that meant for you, and what type of legacy, right? Do you want your sumo legacy to be as a Black person in this sport?
It's really, it's very intertwined with I feel like the fact that I'm a Black queer trans person all compounds that in a way that makes me very I guess because I got to start my own club, I feel very much more in control of that.
Yes.
I didn't have to worry about walking into a club and worrying if I was the only person of color, worrying if I was the only trans person. I got to curate that space, and hopefully my legacy will be having created this club in Savannah and having it continue in my absence, and having it continue to be a safe space for people of color and for queer people that it was started as, and being sort of as I continue on to other clubs, just existing in that space, being representation for other people, to see that way if somebody comes to Chicago Sumo Club and they're looking around wondering if they're the only person of color, they're the only trans person. I mean, in general, especially with being trans, it's but worrying if they're the only Black person, if they're the only queer person, it's looking around and being able to see at least one other person there.
Hell yeah.
I was gonna say, not in our community.
Yeah.
There is all stripes.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I certainly wouldn't be the only person there, but at least from club to club, especially it's when you look at amateur sumo broadly, there is certainly a lot of diversity, but some clubs are more diverse than others.
Fair.
In certain regards, but the overarching, if you go whenever I see videos of tournaments and stuff, it's every type of person is there. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's
as a person.
Oh no, I just wanted to I wanted to lift up too that when we that really drives home, right, the privilege, right, that a person can have when you don't have to do that kind of conscious polling, right, when you go somewhere, when you have to be looking around, listening intensely to and intentional to conversations to find out if you're going to be safe there, if there's other folks there like you, and queerness and transness is something that you can't see, and also Temple, I got so much love and respect for you, because there are so many people who it is still very dangerous for them to be who they always were as trans folks, and being able to see you living, loving being in the sun, it's amazing and inspiring, and more folks are gonna be okay being themselves sooner. But also, for cisgender folks listening to this, all the weight ain't on the trans community to make it safe, because we the ones out here acting up and hurting trans folks. So it's really got to be on us as cis folks and as teachers of our schools, making sure that it's a space that everybody can get down and enjoy the sport safely, and not have to worry about you saying some transphobic shit and being like, oh, yeah. Go ahead, JJ. My bad.
So we all know that like life changes, and Justin, I know, has a person in his mind of who's going to kind of carry his legacy of Dark Circle when that time comes. For me, it's a little bit more complicated because it's intertwined with a business and this and that. But man, I'm pretty sure I'm going to either move to Japan or Texas in the near future, just because I want to make the money just makes sense, right? Mm-hmm. And California ain't making it, so I have to kind of figure out where that kind of goes. And I got some people. Christina and I have talked about it. How do you feel about that person or persons that you're going to leave your legacy to?
I am a little. I mean, that is something that still like worries me a little bit, especially because I'm moving fairly soon. But because I a lot of the members of my team don't necessarily come to club most of the time. They come to the club a lot of times.
That will always happen.
That's super common.
That will never go away.
But that's been the trouble of like trying to figure out who's going to be like my successor. It's got to be someone who's willing to show up like every Sunday, like unless something important comes up. Of course, they don't have to like. I don't want anybody to feel like they're, that the world's going to end if they have to reschedule or something. But, in general, somebody who's like dedicated to really like showing up every Sunday if they can and setting up all the crap that needs to be set up. And I think my roommate who comes with me pretty often is like at least going to be a big driving force. They're like holding it down for me while I'm in San Francisco right now. In fact,
so you're gonna have practice. You have practice while you're there. Yes.
Oh yeah.
That is the first step. That is so hard.
You're doing it right.
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, it is sort of like my roommate did go get set up and have practice, but nobody showed up except for them. So
that happens. It happens.
Especially when they know you're not there. They're like, all right, cool. I'm just not going to show up.
Like skip day.
Like I on purpose, when I went to Japan, did not tell people when I was going. I just left. So the first week, full class with my substitutes. Perfect. And they killed it.
That might have been the way to do it.
And then the second week, they were like, JJ's still in Japan, and nobody showed up. So that's just how it works.
I tried to get everybody we have a little group chat, and I tried to get everybody like hyped up, like, come on, I'm gonna be gone, but like we're still gonna have practice, send me videos, blah blah blah. Like, and then my roommate Joey just like texted me yesterday, like I was like, oh, did you record it? And they were like, yeah, it was just me though. So it's just like the first like 20 minutes of me doing the exercises and stuff. But puts a lot of, gives me a lot of like faith in them, because it's like, oh, you showed up and nobody was there and you still did all this stuff for long enough for like, in case somebody came late or something,
Yeah. And then there's nothing wrong with doing Shikos.
Oh yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
And when people don't show up sometimes to like we have Wednesdays sometimes, not much anymore just because of how hot it is, but we have practices outside at Zilker Park, and there has been multiple times where nobody shows up and I'm there like, you know what, I'm gonna get in 100 Chico, and then I'm gonna sit in the sun for a little bit and go home. It is gonna.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah,
It
that's
does.
usually what I
You-
do if nobody shows up. I like set up the dohyo because it's like sometimes people get there late, so I'll set everything up and then I'll do Shiko and then I'll like do all the warm up exercises.
Yes.
If for no one else, then at least for me, just so I don't go a week without them. And then it's like nobody shows up. It's like all right, just pack it all up and come back home. But,
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
And it's wild too because you'll miss a time and then like something so like we were doing like Chico's, we were doing practice in like a park, Balboa Park, and we had no idea that the people in their balcony had created like this little mini series, and they had like watched
I saw everybody else outside. It was beautiful. Yeah. We were in the neighborhood app. If you go into the neighborhood app, it's people in these like high-rise things looking over our Zucker Park, Balboa Park, right? Big, beautiful one, full of museums, gorgeous park. Like, so they're there and they're just like, Sumo. And then start going down the comments, and I'm like, mostly positive. It was like, hey, look at all these hot guys. I was like, I'm a hot guy.
I'll take that.
And then like Jay and I were a little more fortunate because like Jay's my accountability buddy, but it's also like we take 2 cars, so sometimes JJ's a little worried I won't come to practice. He's like, where you at?
Because you're late.
But
It's because you're late.
I
run color people time. Notoriously color people time.
And Harriet Tubman would have wanted it that way. This is for you, Harriet. It's for you. But sometimes in class, it's just me and JJ, and like you said, it's the Chicos, it's all that, and I gotta. It sounds like cliche and corny, but when it's that consistency that that grows it. Mm-hmm. And then also you should get on stuff like Class Pass. If they have it out there with y'all, and it's like people pay a annual membership, and also Class Pass. Hook it up with some sponsorship. Look what I'm doing for you. But also,
so what is Class Pass?
You pay one fee and then you can go to a bunch of different exercise things.
So you get I think it's basically like a point system. You get somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 points per month or something along those lines. And the membership is monthly, so they'll probably pay maybe $100 a month, somewhere along those lines. And then they can just pick the things that they want to do. And we put ourselves into Class Pass first because I think we're legit the only sumo ever to be in Class Pass. They thought that was really interesting. And then I built a framework with jujitsu in it before. And it's our drop-in fee is more expensive than Class Pass, like what Class Pass will pay us. But that's okay, because ultimately, I just want people to do sumo. I want you to look at it, try it out. You love it? Perfect. You can continue your Class Pass and keep coming in, and I only get like a few bucks. That's fine. I don't care. But at least you're doing sumo, right? It's all about feeding the people, like bringing the water to the masses.
1 second, guys. I'm going to get off for 1 second. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Make them disappear. But and then too, Temple people, if you've ever been someone building a movement or building anything from the bottom up, it takes a long time for it to be, for it to be big. But yeah, Temple, what you doing though? And you as an amazing Black, queer, and trans person. Folks feel that, and they're gonna seek you out. I know for like my club, I'm constantly like talking to the queer homies about it, and like, look, y'all, this is us, and it's just amazing and important. And you know, it's important for us to be in this community because you know, even with what's happening with old wild and whack Kelly Knighting on the board, you know, the organized muscle and power of queer people, trans folks who do sumo, and the community that is allied to us, is going to be the reason that justice happens. And if justice doesn't happen, the reason there are going to be consequences.
Yeah, I listened to the it was like a surprise. The Sumo Punks episode. I was just, you know, on my little podcast thing. I don't actually have many sumo podcasts on my Apple podcast just because I like YouTube most of the time. And I was like, oh, what is this? What is this? And I started listening, and it was fantastic. And I heard you speaking, and I was like, oh, we've been following each other on Instagram forever.
Mm-hmm.
I just never had a conversation. I was like, okay, because you know, everybody that does amateur sumo, we all grab each other and support one another, and then we go from there. And then when I see people in person, I don't know anybody's name. What's your Instagram handle? That's just
literally.
Like some people, like there's a guy named, his name is Randy. I only know him as that Cuban kid. And that's just how my brain goes. Like, that's just what it is. But
I don't think I knew that his name was Randy until you said that. I know that Cuban kid.
The Cuban kid, yeah. So, like, as soon as I heard you, I was like, oh, man, because, you know, we started this project. I thought it was only going to be in February, and we just kept going, and we're organically going to keep going until we run out of black people. And let me tell you something, sumo is pretty black. Pretty black. I didn't know it was as black as this. I thought at least by Juneteenth we'd be done, but no. We're gonna keep going. Now, speaking of black, you identify as black?
I do.
Yeah.
I do feel a little. It does feel a little complicated sometimes because I feel like I'm a bit like. I'm like obviously not white, but I'm also like a little ethnically ambiguous, I think. At least according to like people not knowing what I am sometimes. I get a lot of, are you Mexican? Are you Puerto Rican? I've gotten Filipino before, you know. I feel like other black people can tell that I'm black, but everybody else
But also Temple, you can't really trust other non-black people because they thought Beyonce was white.
Well, so when people do that, they think that black is an insult. So that's kind of the problem. And it's a lot of them, they have that biases in their head, right? And they're like, oh, you're another, like you're
right.
This.
It's like, oh, if you could be something else, that's what I'd rather you be.
And if I say you're black, immediately I'm insulting you, which that's just what they feel inside. And that's the masses, right? We got to change that. Like you know, black people, we see black people across the street say what's up. That's just what we do. Right? Like I'm at anime conventions, we walk past each other. There's a moment, just like in Sailor Moon, we stop, we look at each other, time freezes for a second, and then we keep going.
That's how it works. Every time I go to Japan, if I ever see a black person, oh, sorry. Oh,
no, that's what happens on the train. We're like,
you're like, oh shit, there's another one of y'all here. Every time I go to Japan, I get excited. Sammy's like, why are you so excited? I'm like, because there's a brother right over there.
Look, I need to say hello.
My wife is Japanese, and actually, it's been a fun educational series in the diversity of skin tones for what is, you know, for black people, because she'll see somebody like my homegirl Shalinda. She's just, you know, what we would call in the South high yellow, and even she was just like Sammy was like, she's black, and I was like, yes honey, she's black too. And she's like,
it's like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You're black.
So,
You're
like,
black.
she would honestly, with no animosity, she would see you and then ask me, and then but now it's like a game for her. She's like, is he black? Also, he is also black. And she's like, so many different shades. Because I mean, I guess in Japan, you gotta understand, Japan's like 97% all Japanese, so only 5% others are there, and most of that 3% lives only in Tokyo and Osaka. You go to any smaller towns,
Okinawa.
And Okinawa or wherever a military base is, kind of Kawasaki or whatever. But what do you call it? But in these smaller towns, they've seen at best on TV basketball players or
that one comedian, the black comedian.
There's
that guy was.
But he's talking about what's his name? Anthony. He's black. But he's half black, half Japanese.
No. The other one.
Black.
Which black guy?
The one from the 90s. The big guy. The big guy.
Oh,
big, bald.
Yeah.
Almost look like Bob Sapp, but not Bob Sapp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But they don't. These are all their references are in in a fantasy land. They don't live the culture and see like the bandwidth of what what we all look like in the African diaspora. And so they just and so to Sammy, she's just like, wow, like it's blowing her mind. And we went to New Orleans, and teaching her about Creole people, you know what I mean? And she was just like, what it's mind blowing because she's learning the levels. Not just what P Diddy looked like or whatever.
Cancel P Diddy now. He did it. Cancel.
We got to the under the 1 hour mark, and you're talking about Diddy. That's cool. There it is.
Oh my God! But
never go to a Diddy party.
I think, Lord. But please don't go and hold him accountable. Get Diddy. But also Temple. I think what you like lifting up too is like I think that you can speak, because like when we talk about colorism, right, and in the black community, some black people get upset and they be like, oh, you're trying to divide us. No, like it's science. If I go before a judge and a darker skinned black woman go before a judge and we're both getting sentenced, the dark skinned woman is gonna get more time than I get. Right. And then two, if a dark skinned black trans woman go before a judge and me and her got the same crime, same instances, she's gonna get more time because of her, because of her proximity away from. Yes. And so I think that is, I appreciate you on like lifting up, like, I wanna honor like my, my privilege. But like Temple, when somebody look at you, they be like, oh yeah, that they a nigga. Right? That's
I literally had somebody say that to me. Right? It's so funny. Oh my God.
But I
guess that's all that matters, really, because I'm all like, oh, other people can't tell, but other black people can tell. It's like, I guess that's what matters. Like, shit.
Yeah, but like what JJ said, it's like, because we live in this white supremacist ass society, it is a compliment for somebody to look at you and be like, wait, you're just no. Honey, I thought
you have to be mixed with something, right?
I thought you were mixed. I thought you were mixed.
I am mixed, but luckily I don't, even so being mixed, it's like, it does feel nice to like, not be too on the, I mean, yeah, for me it is it's more of a compliment to be hyped up by y'all, because I do kind of sometimes feel very insecure about it.
Lift up the fish, Justin. Lift up the fish, Justin.
Yes.
Yeah, you got a lot of tattoos.
I do,
yes.
Temple,
what are your tags?
Wow.
What are the ones on
Does
your
that
hand?
hurt?
Oh, the ones on my palms? Yeah. Did they hurt? Yes. The most painful tattoos I've gotten so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, really bad. Like,
Man, can you imagine him doing, just like two-body and all? That's all you remember him is by. It's just like, yeah. You're like,
I've never even thought about that. That's so
oh,
funny.
right. You're that guy. Oh, okay. I remember.
Justin,
I remember that right here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, boo. It's they them, not him.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh, sorry.
You didn't do your homework. It's okay. It's only there to make everything go smooth.
Also, Justin, like, thank you for not having a full ass meltdown when somebody be like, "Yo, it's not this pronoun, it's this one." Because people be acting up.
I'm learning.
People like, what do you mean? Oh.
No, I'm learning. Of course, I'm from old school, and I'm learning the ways of the new peoples, of the young people.
Yes.
No.
You're like 5 years away from being a senior citizen. It's okay.
I am.
We got you.
How old do you think I
Too
am?
much.
How old do you think I am? Temple.
Temple, don't fall for this game. Don't fall for this game,
How old do you
Temple.
think I am?
Say 21.
Wait, what was the question? I didn't quite hear. How old am I?
Yeah.
I'm 28.
No, not
No,
you.
Oh, I didn't hear.
How old do you think grandfather Justin Kizzard is?
Oh, I hate this question. I'm so bad
I
at
know.
this.
Everybody
Just
does.
say 21, Temple.
I'm gonna take your advice and say 21.
No, don't bullshit me.
See? With your little cute old self, Justin. We like it. It's cute. You cute, Justin. But also,
God.
Sorry, that was
look, to all the old heads watching, do your pronoun homework, baby. Because it was trans people on the slave ships. Okay? So let's just blessing. Been around forever.
And I think this is a great spot to end. Temple, it's been awesome.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so much fun. I feel like I'm surrounded by royalty right now.
King of the
in the near future, Christina is going to write out your black card and mail it to you. So just look out for the mailbox on that one, because apparently with Ed, we had to send him out one. So it's okay. It's really all it is just a verification. Like you're already in the club, you've been in the club, but just now
If anybody asks,
you're gonna have your ID. Bam, there it is.
It's important that we recognize each other and we see each other and we see you, Temple, and we are so like freaking proud and excited. You gonna kill top surgery. You about to do it so good. It's gonna be amazing. And
top surgery doesn't
I live with this energy every day.
Every day.
This is Christina's energy every day. You're gonna take out that trash and you're gonna kill it. I'm like, okay, all right, Christina.
I look forward to meeting you, Temple. I look forward to meeting you at some point in time.
Yes, absolutely.
I always, meeting people over the internet, and then finally meeting them at a like a tournament or a function or whatever. It's just it's a whole different thing. It's just
I think
I'm hoping to be able to make it to some sort of tournament later this year. Maybe one of the Midwest.
The Midwest is murder.
I do really want to come to the Consulates Cup. By then, I'll be living in Chicago.
When is that, Justin?
October 26th.
So you guys hear that?
If I can travel there, if I can find a way to get the traveling together, then I really would like to come because there's so many people that are going to be there that I want to meet.
Yes, we all and it's a fun time, and the after parties are always very. It's a ball. It's a ball.
We have closed bars. We've closed bars before.
Yeah.
There have been sumo wrestlers on top of tables dancing into 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
No problem. We had Brenda washing dishes because Brenda's just that great of a person, right?
Kellyanne drinking out of the Consulate's cup herself.
Oh yes. Kellyanne drinking out of the Consulate's cup.
Yes, ma'am. That's what I'm talking about, dude. What? That's crazy.
And by that time, Kellyanne will be, world champion at that point.
Fuck
so
yeah.
Number one!
Number one.
Another
Number
one.
Another one.
As long as we find time for some karaoke at the after party.
Oh no,
Oh, that's mandatory.
Mando. That's Mando.
I'm telling you.
Mando.
Yes.
Wait,
All right.
before we go,
Ja-
Temple, do you
what?
wait? Does Temple?
Oh
have
yeah.
anything they wanna
Plugs.
plug?
What?
Oh, plug stuff.
Oh,
How can people find you if they wanted to do sumo in your area?
Our Instagram is Hostess City Sumo. And that's pretty much it. We do sumo in Forsyth Park, Sundays 9 a.m., weather permitting.
Sweet.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. We just have the Instagram right now. And if you need to contact me, hostesscitysumo@gmail. That's pretty much it.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, country real. All right, amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.